and then we'll start the music over. Okay. Let's see. Make sure everyone is muted. Perfect. Okay. Well, we will get started. So, today we are going to open up the backs of our legs a lot. So if you do have some kind of resistance band or yoga strap, even a belt would work, a long towel, something that you can basically loop around your foot and also hold on to. But if you don't have anything, you do not need it, no worries. So for those of you who are new or viewing this later, my name is Amanda. Very excited for all of you to be here. A gentle reminder is that any poses that we do during the class, you do not have to do. If something just doesn't feel right, or if you feel stiff or feel any kind of pain, just easing off. Don't feel pressured. Everything I'm suggesting is just a suggestion. So just following your body and not worrying about trying to be in a specific pose. So today, we are actually going to start on our backs. So gently rolling down on the spine or whichever way is most comfortable, just coming down onto the back. And then just letting the feet spread out naturally. Let the hands connect to your side, let the palms radiate towards the sky. And then begin to close the eyes nice and slow. And taking a big breath in through the nose. And a big exhale out the mouth. Begin to settle in. And just bring awareness to the chest and to the belly. Notice with every inhale, the chest and the belly begin to lift up, expand a little more. And then with every exhale, begin to notice the body softening, releasing down to the earth. So for the next 45 minutes, you have no obligations, no commitments, no deadlines. Just to be here with yourself, with your breath. And then as you begin to soften in just a bit more with every breath, I'd like to read you a quote from Eckhart Tolle. It says, "Bring acceptance into your non-acceptance, and then bring surrender into your non-surrender. Then see what happens." So as we lay here, softening the body, softening the mind, allow yourself to surrender just to this moment. No need to worry about what happened earlier today. No need to worry about any future anxieties. Just being present in this very moment. And then if it resonates with you, you can set an intention for your practice. It can be a positive affirmation, or maybe it's just releasing something that no longer serves or benefits you. Whatever comes to you naturally, no overthinking. All intentions are welcome. And we'll just take one more deep breath in. Nice, long, deeper exhale out. Begin to gently flutter the eyes open, nice and easy. And we'll inhale, lift the arms above the head, just taking a nice big stretch. And then grabbing your resistance band or your yoga strap or belt if you have one. Just having it lay right on top of your chest or somewhere close next to you. We're going to inhale, begin to slowly bend that right knee into the chest. You can always grab behind the thigh if that's easier, or even with your strap, you can place it behind and then begin to slowly bring the knee in towards the chest. So if you have the room already, you can always place the hands on top of the shin, pointing the foot, rolling out the ankle, finding some mobility. And then when you're ready, we'll take that strap and we're just going to loop it around the bottom sole of the foot. And we'll gently begin to straighten out the leg and then flexing the foot. So maybe your foot is facing more towards the wall, and that's totally okay. We're going to slowly begin to bring the toes closer to our nose. But once you find that nice juicy stretch in the back leg, just staying there. If you feel any pain, just backing off. But see, with every breath, with every exhale, begin to allow yourself to open up the back of the leg just a bit more. Sending the breath down to the leg, opening up nice and easy. When you're ready, begin to take both straps into one hand, and then we'll gently begin to guide that right leg towards the right, opening up the hip. And again, we're just warming up, so you don't need to force the hip open in any way. Your hip can open up maybe just an inch or two, just finding that deep opening. And then we'll inhale, bring that foot back up towards center. And we'll just grab the straps with our left hand. You can place the right arm out into a half T. And we'll slowly lower that right leg down towards the left. If you need to place a nice bend in your knee, you can totally do that. There's still a nice stretch in the IT band. Just a gentle way to open up the legs. And then on your next inhale, we'll take the right leg back up and just bend the knee, take the strap, place it off to the side, give your shin a nice good squeeze into the chest. And we'll slowly straighten out that right leg. When you're ready, we'll begin to pull in the left knee in towards the chest. Again, you can hold behind the thigh, even use the strap, or hold on top of the shin, whatever feels good to you. And then point and flexing the toe, rolling the ankle out. Still staying with that calm breath. And then when you're ready, we'll take that strap and just place it on the bottom of the sole of the foot. Begin to straighten out the leg, holding onto each end of the strap, flexing the foot. And just see how the left leg is feeling today. Maybe it's tighter than the right. Maybe it's even a little looser, but just be nice and gentle with yourself. Gently guiding the toes closer towards the nose. And once you find that nice opening the back leg, just staying there. If it's a little too much, just backing off a bit. Deep breath in. And then deep breath out. We'll just do one more big inhale in. Nice soft exhale out. Begin to put the straps into the left hand. Right arm can come out into a half T or even stay on your hip if that feels better. But we'll slowly guide that left leg towards the outside of the left of the mat, opening up the hip and keeping the foot flexed. Again, sending the breath down into the hip to open up just a bit more. And then when you're ready on an inhale, begin to take that leg back up towards center, and then we'll switch our grasp. Take that left arm out into a half T, and then we'll slowly guide that left leg down towards the right. Feeling that stretch on the outside of the leg, maybe even in the glute area. Just breathing nice and deep. One breath in. One breath out. On your next inhale, we'll lift the leg all the way back up. Begin to bend the knee, and then just take that strap and place it off to the side, giving the leg a nice squeeze into the chest again. And then we'll begin to bend that right knee, so taking both knees into the chest, maybe rocking a little side to side, nice little massage on the low back. And then we'll grab a hold up back to the thighs, and we're just going to gently begin to rock and roll our way all the way up to a seated position. And just do it a few times. It should be a nice little massage on the spine, kind of warming up our core at the same time. And then once you make it all the way up, come to a side seat, or you can roll over your knees, and we're going to come into a tabletop. So we're going to place our shoulders right over our wrists and our hips right over our knees, fingertips spread nice and wide, like they're digging into some wet sand at the beach. On your next breath in, we're going to lower the belly, open up the chest, and the gaze looks up. Exhale, begin to round the upper back, belly to spine, chin to chest. And just a few more times. Inhale, pull the heart forward, pointing the tailbone up. And then exhale, reversing, doming the upper back, navel towards the spine. And again, inhale for cow pose. And then exhale to a cat back. And then we'll find a nice neutral spine again, gaze is looking straight down. And we're going to begin to extend that right leg back, toes pointing down towards the ground. And begin to shift the weight towards that back heel. So you should feel a nice stretch in that calf, even the ankle. You can even kind of rock forward and back, just opening up the leg. So from here, again, really pressing down through all 10 knuckles, begin to engage the core, and then see if maybe you can lift that left knee up towards the chest, really doming the upper back like a cat back. And we'll breathe here for 3, 2, 1, and then just setting it back down. Catching your breath. And again, we'll begin to engage the body a bit more and see if you can lift that knee all the way back up for 3, 2, 1, and then setting it back down. And then we'll just place that right knee underneath the right hip. And we'll inhale for a cow pose. Exhale to a cat back. Coming back to that nice neutral spine, we'll begin to extend that left leg back, toes pointing towards the ground. And see if you can shift the weight back towards the heel, feeling that nice stretch in the calf. And then just shifting the weight back and forth, finding a little bit of movement. And again, we'll find that stillness. We'll begin to engage the core, really pressing down through all 10 knuckles. Engage the core, pull that knee up into the belly. And we'll breathe here. And then setting the knee back down. One breath in. One breath out. On your next breath in, we'll begin to press down through the hands and then tucking the knee in towards the chest. Calm breath in. Calm breath out. Setting the knee back down. And then we'll place the left knee underneath that left hip again. And we'll do one more cat-cow. So inhale, looking up. And then exhale, pressing down and up through the earth for cat pose. And then coming to a nice neutral spine. So this time, we're going to still engage the core and begin to tuck both toes under, and then see if maybe you can lift and hover the knees just an inch above the mat. Gaze is still looking straight down. Neck is in line with the spine. Warming up the core. Full breath in. On the breath out, begin to take the tailbone up and back, downward facing dog. Keeping the knees nice and bent. And then inhale, lift up onto the toes. Exhale, begin to straighten one leg, bending the other. And then just switching nice and slow. Moving really gently, really smooth in the body. Just opening up the backs of the hamstrings and the calves. And then the gaze is looking straight between the feet or the calves. Maybe even shake your head yes or no, making sure that the neck and head are nice and soft. We'll find a bit of stillness again. And we'll inhale, lift up onto both toes, and then exhale the heels back down. And again, lifting up onto the tippy toes, and exhale the heels down towards the mat. No worries if they don't touch. Last time, inhale up onto the toes, and then exhale the heels down. On your next breath in, gaze towards the top of the mat, and then exhale, we'll slowly begin to walk and crawl ourselves all the way to the top. Once you make it up towards the top, just bending over, letting the head and neck be nice and heavy. If it feels good, grabbing onto opposite elbows, swaying side to side into ragdoll. You can place a nice generous bend in your knees if you need to, so the belly matches the top of the thighs. Just letting the shoulders be nice and heavy. Any tension in the neck or in the shoulders, just let gravity do all the work, letting go of that tension. And then we'll take the fingertips back down to the ground, keeping the head nice and heavy. We're going to slowly roll up one notch at a time, all the way up to standing. Once you make your way up, looping the shoulders down the spine, we'll inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, begin to hinge at the hips, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, hands can be on top of the thighs or the shins. And then exhale, forward fold. Twice more, inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. And then exhale, forward fold. Last time, inhale, halfway lift, rolling the shoulders down the spine. And then exhale, take the hands down to the mat and we'll step back to plank pose. Stay for the breath in. On the breath out, lower the knees down and begin to bend the elbows, grazing the ribcage all the way down to the belly. And then flatten the toes onto the mat. Zip the elbows towards midline. We'll inhale, begin to lift the chest up just an inch for baby cobra. And then exhale down. Inhale, maybe a little higher this time. And then exhale down. Last time, inhale maybe to a full cobra. And then exhale back down. Tuck the toes under, keeping the knees down or lifted for more of a challenge. We'll inhale, begin to press all the way back up to a plank pose. And then taking the hips all the way back up and for downward facing dog. We'll stay here for one breath in, one breath out. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. And exhale, begin to slowly step all the way to the top again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. You're going to slowly roll up one vertebra at a time again. Inhale, begin to sweep the arms overhead. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands down, stepping back to plank pose. And we'll stay here for the breath in. On the breath out, lower the knees, bend the elbows all the way down to the belly. Inhale to cobra. If you have the room, you can press into the tops of the feet, lift the hips, open up the chest for upward facing dog. And whether you're in cobra or upward facing, we'll all meet back into a downward facing dog. One breath in, one breath out. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, maybe see this time if you can take a nice big step all the way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to inhale, root to rise all the way to standing, lifting the arms. And then exhale, leading with the chest, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands down, stepping back to plank pose. Take further breath in. On the breath out, lower down halfway or all the way, your choice. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale all the way back, downward facing. And we'll just stay here for one breath again. On your next inhale in, gaze towards the top of the mat, and exhale, begin to make your way all the way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way to standing, lifting the arms, lifting the gaze, palms meet at the top. Exhale, take the thumbs to the forehead, third eye, and then take the hands to heart center. So here we are in mountain pose with our hands at our chest, maybe closing the eyes just for a moment. Just playing with your center of gravity, feeling grounded to the earth, lifting the crown of the head towards the sky. And we'll just take 3 cleansing breaths. So a big inhale through the nose, nice sigh out the mouth. Twice more, inhale in, exhale out. Last time, inhale, and then exhale. Beautiful. So on your next breath in, slight bend in the knees, we'll inhale, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, take the hands back down to the ground, stepping back to plank pose. Stay for the breath in. On the breath out, lower down halfway or all the way. Inhale for cobra, upward facing. And then exhale, downward facing dog. On your next breath in, we're going to lift that left leg all the way up. Keep the hips square. Keep those left toes pointed towards the ground. And then if it feels good, begin to open up that left hip. Maybe bend that left knee. Circling out the ankle, circling out the hip. When you're ready, inhale, begin to straighten up that leg, squaring off the hip. Inhale, begin to lift that extended leg just a bit higher. And then exhale, knee to chest, knee to nose, hold for one breath. Leg all the way back up. Exhale again, knee to chest, knee to nose. And then we'll inhale the leg up one more time. Exhale, knee to chest, knee to nose. And then pull that left leg in between the hands, low lunge. So if you do have blocks or books or some kind of props, you can always have them underneath your hands, bringing the floor to you if that feels better. And then once you're ready, we'll slowly lower that back knee down, flatten that back foot. So you can stay here if this is enough. Maybe walking the hands up to the knee. Again, see if you can square the hips off towards the front of the room. And then if you have the space, you can always lift the arms up or even energetically reach towards the floor. Feeling that nice stretch in that right hip, front of the leg. One breath in, one breath out. Take the hands back down to the floor, down to the blocks, and we're just going to straighten up that front leg and take the hips over that right knee. So you can always place a little bend in that front knee if you need to, but just trying to straighten out that leg as much as it feels good. Again, if you feel any sharp pain, just backing off. So we'll inhale, lengthen up the spine. Exhale, if you have the room, maybe hinge at the hips just a bit more, just getting that nice deeper stretch in the hamstring. Just staying here for a couple breaths. Full breath in, full breath out. When you're ready, we're gonna come all the way up towards the front. Begin to tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. And then spinning that right heel down towards the ground. Engage the core. And we'll inhale, windmill the arms up all the way to warrior two. So just bringing awareness to that front leg. See if the knee is pointing towards the same direction as your toes. And then the left knee just really going towards the left side. So really engaging the glute, really engaging that quad. Shoulders stacked right on top of the hips, arms nice and long. And then face nice and soft, maybe even a little smile. Again, coming back to that nice deep breath. On your next breath in, we'll reverse. And then exhale, coming towards the front side of the body. Left forearm meets the top of the thigh. Right arm just arcing over, even reaching towards the sky. Maybe bending that front knee just a bit more. See if you can roll that right shoulder back just a bit, opening up the chest. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale, reverse. Exhale, coming back to warrior two. On your next breath in, we're gonna lift all the way up, straightening that front leg, and then point the toes towards the right, coming into star pose. So inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, begin to hinge at the hips, left fingertips meet the right toes. Maybe it's even the calf or the thigh. So we're coming into a nice twist here. And we'll inhale all the way back up towards center. And then exhale, right fingertips to the left toes or left leg. Opening up. Inhale back towards center. Exhale, begin to bend both knees. Knees are pointing in the same direction as your toes. And really press the thighs towards the back, opening up the hips. Arms can be up, or arms can come down to heart center, your choice. And if you feel, again, any maybe cramping, just easing up. You don't have to go into a full squat or full goddess pose. Just finding your range of motion right now. If it feels good, swaying a little side to side, maybe even closing the eyes. Focusing on the muscles, focusing on the breath. And then we'll take both hands right on top of the thighs. We'll inhale, begin to lengthen up the spine. Exhale, begin to drop that left shoulder towards midline. Inhale all the way back up towards center. And then exhale, dropping that right shoulder towards midline. And then we'll inhale up. Begin to take the fingertips towards the floor. You can always place them on blocks if you need to. And we'll begin to straighten up the legs. The toes are pointing straight forward or just slightly in. You can stay here if this is enough, just lengthening out the spine. If you have a little more room, begin to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe hinge at the hips just a bit, taking the chest towards the back of the room. Coming into a wide-legged fold. And again, if you need to put a nice little bend in the knees, you can even place your hands on top of your thighs. Even if you have a chair, you can place your hands on there. Just getting a nice deep stretch in the back of the leg. And we'll just stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. Deep inhale in, deeper exhale out. When you're ready, we're going to take our hands to our hips. Using the core, we'll inhale all the way back up. Take the arms up, stretch up for star pose. And then exhale, begin to take the left toes towards the left side or front side of the mat, coming into warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the ground, low lunge. So now you're on the back of your right toes, and we're just going to begin to straighten up that front leg for pyramid pose. If you need to kick that right leg towards the front just a bit more, shortening the stance, you can totally do that. And just playing around with the stance. Sometimes people like a bigger stance and some people like a shorter one, just seeing what feels best to you. So we'll inhale, lengthen up the spine. Exhale, maybe hinging at the hips just a bit more, really getting into the back of the leg. Full breath in, full breath out. When you're ready, we're going to begin to bend that front knee into that low lunge. And then taking the left foot to meet the right, you can go straight into downward facing dog or take your flow, your choice. If you need to come down to child's pose at any time to catch your breath, feel free to do that. Just coming back to the breath is the most important thing. If you're with me, we'll inhale, lift that right leg up, engaging that right glute. If it feels good, begin to open up the hip, bend that right knee. And circling out that right ankle, circling out the right hip. Inhale, straighten up that right leg, squaring off the hip. Exhale, knee comes to chest, throw to the nose, hold. And then inhale that right leg up. Exhale, knee to chest, knee to nose, hold. And then inhale the right leg up. Exhale, knee to chest, knee to nose for the last time. And then pull that right foot through, low lunge. Let the hips settle. And then carefully placing that back knee onto the ground, flattening that back foot. Staying here if it's enough. Maybe walking the hands up to the knees. Maybe the arms come above your head or even down next to your side. Breathing into that left front leg. When you're ready, taking the hands back down to the floor or to your blocks and straighten out that front leg. Getting the hips above that left knee. Inhale, lengthen out the spine. Exhale, maybe hinging at the hips just a centimeter, feeling that nice stretch. When you're ready, we'll slowly come all the way up towards the front. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then begin to turn that heel down towards the ground. And we'll inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, warrior two. Again, checking with the shoulders right over the hips. That right knee right over the right ankle or a little behind. On your next breath in, we'll reverse our warrior. Exhale, coming towards the front, towards extended side angle. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, coming all the way up, warrior two. We'll inhale, begin to straighten that right leg, lift the arms up, point the toes towards the left. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, right fingertips come towards the right toes or right leg. Inhale up towards center. Exhale, left fingertips come towards the left toes or left leg. Inhale back up to center. And we'll reach the arms up for star pose. Exhale, bend both knees down into goddess pose. I'll just face you for this. And again, arms can be up or hands can be at heart center. This time we'll inhale, lift the chest a bit more. Exhale, take the hands down to the floor and straightening out the legs. Staying here if this is enough. Or maybe begin to slowly melt the chest towards the back again. Just surrendering into this moment. No need to force yourself into any particular pose. If you need to back off at any time, just listening to your body. And then when you're ready, we'll take the hands onto the hips. Inhale all the way up. Lift the arms for star pose. And then begin to turn that right foot towards the top of the mat, coming into that warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the ground, low lunge. So nice and slow, we're going to begin to straighten up that front leg, coming into pyramid pose. And just breathing into the back of the leg. You can always have your hands on a chair, even blocks. Lessen the tension that maybe you might feel in the back of the leg. And again, just one more big inhale. And one deep exhale. Begin to bend that front knee, taking the hands to the ground. Right foot meets the left. And we're just going to set both knees down to the ground. Big toes touch. Knees come apart as wide as comfortable. And then we'll take the hips towards our heel, letting the forehead come down onto the ground. Letting the belly inflate every time as you inhale. And then as you exhale, just emptying it all out. So I encourage you just to take these few moments in child's pose, just surrendering to whatever needs to be surrendered in your life right now. Maybe there's something that you've been holding on to that doesn't benefit you anymore. Maybe you needed it last week or last month, but maybe now it's just a little heavy to carry around in life. Begin to breathe into whatever this is. Letting go. Creating new energy, new life. Clearing out any blockages. When you're ready, I'm going to slowly begin to walk the hands all the way back towards the knees. And we'll just come to a nice side seat. Carefully swing the legs around towards the front. Centering yourself back onto the mat. Just straightening out the legs. On the deep inhale in, lift the arms. On the exhale, begin to hinge at the hips. Let the hands fall wherever they may. Maybe it's the top of the thighs, the shins, maybe it's the ground next to your calf. Or maybe you can reach the toes. Again, no forcing anything, just surrendering into the stretch. Finding the softening into the backs of the legs, into the whole entire body. We'll take one breath in, one breath out. Slowly begin to roll all the way towards up, and then see if maybe using your core, even grabbing onto the backs of the legs, coming all the way down onto the spine, centering yourself back on your mat if you need to. And then again, we'll hug that right shin into the chest. And then taking the right arm out into a half T. We'll slowly guide that knee down towards the left, coming into a twist. Gaze can look over towards the right fingertips, maybe closing the eyes. Just shutting out any external stimulation, trying to take that focus inward, sinking in a little deeper. When you're ready, begin to slowly take that right knee back into the chest, give it a nice good squeeze. And then straighten out that right leg. We'll begin to bend that left knee into the chest. Take the left arm and out into a half T. And then we'll slowly guide the knee down towards the right. Gaze is looking over towards the left fingertip. Taking a big inhale in. And with the exhale, allowing yourself just to drop in a bit more. Just feeling the ground beneath you. Absorbing that calm energy of the earth. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly bring in that left knee in towards the chest. Nice good squeeze. And we'll slowly send that left leg to meet the right. Coming into our final pose, resting pose, Shavasana. So just like how we started in the beginning, letting the feet splay out naturally. And just letting the hands rest next to your side, palms facing up. Tucking the chin in just a centimeter and to lengthen out the back of the neck. Closing the eyes. And then taking a big breath in, maybe the biggest breath you've taken in all day. Pause at the top. And then exhale nice and slow. Begin to relax the toes, the soles, the feet, and the ankles. Relaxing the calves, the knees, and the tops of the thighs. Softening the hips and the pelvis. And then letting this peaceful sensation flow all the way up through the spine, into the belly, into the chest. Melting the shoulders down into the earth. Relaxing the arms all the way down to the fingertips. Releasing any tension that might be left in the jaw. And then softening the space between your brows. Letting yourself become one with the earth, one with the source, and one with the self. When you're ready, slowly coming back to the room, back to your body, back to your natural pace of breath. Wiggling up the fingertips and the toes. Maybe take a nice big stretch like you're waking up in the morning. If it feels good, maybe rolling over to your favorite side into fetal pose. And once you make your way there, taking a big inhale in, calm exhale out. At the bottom of the exhale, begin to slowly press yourself all the way to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed or heavy. And then once you make your way there, taking the hands to the heart center, plugging the thumbs up into the sternum, grabbing a hold of that heartbeat, just feeling the life, the energy, the prana that is within you, our gift, our daily gift. And just bowing the chin in gratitude for taking this time, not only for yourself, but also for your practice. I hope you all feel a little bit stronger, a little more brighter, and a little more at peace. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Well, thank you everyone so much for coming today. I hope you feel good, feel more rested, and a little more stretched out. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Try to stay out of the rain if possible, if you're in California. And I hope to see you all next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Amanda. Have a